No, this is my umbilical cord.
Don't.
Why? Talking to the microphone. No, that's too creepy. I'm Junebug.
I'm Genesis.
And this is...
Let's see how this goes. So I, for one, am excited. We are trying out a new type of microphone, and I think it's working so well that I'm gonna buy one for myself too. So our audio should be.
Because you can never hear him.
What? This week's video was something Junebug's been wanting to do for a while.
Yes.
It's our old apartment of horrors. Anybody who's lived in apartment complexes for an extended period of time will know at least most of what we had to go through.
I don't think so.
I feel like some of the stuff will be unique to us, but for the most
I think
part,
a lot of it will.
So with our apartment specifically, there was a couple...
The one we lived in.
Yes.
The little room.
There was some pretty off-putting stuff.
Yeah.
We found fingernails or toenail trimmings.
Toenails. No one has that big of fingers.
I don't know about the guy who lived there. We found toenail trimmings in our kitchen drawer. Like,
drawers.
Plural. Like there was more than one drawer with...
More than one toenails.
Yes.
I got to clean those out.
Yeah, we're not really sure what he was doing with keeping his trimmings in the drawers.
For emergencies. When he had company.
Yes. Like, quick, we got people coming over. Scrape the nails in the drawers. They'll never look there.
Oh no, you get them out when company comes.
Oh, yes, clearly that's something you want. Would you like some nails? Here you go.
Decorations. It's a conversation starter.
Nope. That's not wrong. So we don't know if he was trying to keep somebody out or trying to keep them in.
In.
Okay.
Based on what the previous crazy maintenance guy said.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story altogether. The door frame to get out of the apartment was made of metal, and he had screwed bar across the door.
Multiple bars.
Oh yes, multiple times to keep the person from leaving.
His girlfriend.
Yes, and I wish I would have taken a picture of it because it's crazy. There's clear screw holes.
I think we mentioned it in our come see our apartment video.
Probably.
It may have been pointed out.
Yeah.
What else did we find that I also had to clean?
The gum in the closet?
The multiple chewed up wads of gum stuck in the closet.
Yeah.
That I got to clean up again as well. That was disgusting. And then also the apartment was just not in great shape. There was a huge paint stain on the floor that the couch just covered.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't the guy's fault. That was the maintenance guy's fault. Though.
Who knows? There was so many pieces of the wallpaper missing. There was just stains on the wall, purple. Yeah, the door to the pet's room was broken.
Oh, yeah.
He also busted that, the previous guy did.
Yeah, imagine he tried to break into the room. Because the door did have a lock that would work.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, the door handle wouldn't move, but the latch was broken.
Oh.
So even though you could actually lock the door, you could just push on it and it would open.
Was that it for in our particular building? It's always smelled nasty, too, like drugs.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can't smoke here, you get fined, but everyone smoked, but us.
After, was it like 4 months maybe, the ownership of the apartments changed hands and they had a no smoking policy inside the apartments anyways, but the old lady below us did not.
Oh, that old hag.
Yes, she did not.
I was repulsed by her.
Yes, she was just an overall...
crazy biatch.
Yeah, she harassed Junebug on more than one occasion.
She would like chase me down if I left the apartment to like go get the mail. Like she'd chase me, or she'll just like peek around the corner and stare at me. Or she would shout. She shouted when we were on our deck once. She's like, STDs! She almost caught the building on fire. It was...
I forgot about that. She did. Smoke pouring out of the downstairs apartment.
She almost hit me with her car once too when I was on a walk.
So, going on the lines of rowdy neighbors, there's dogs barking all hours of the night. Some of the walls were pretty well insulated, like sound-wise, but
it's like the ones to the main hall weren't, but the side ones were.
So, across the hall from us when we first moved in was a door that did not have a handle because somebody had cut around it. They ended up having a piece of something where the hole used to be. Like they stuffed it in there.
We thought people were living there, but just annoying. But they were illegal squatters.
Yes.
And squatters, there was like 12 people living in this 2-bedroom apartment.
People constantly coming and going.
Looking for drugs. They were hoarders because I remember one day they had like professional people from the state having to like drag out tons of shit, and our dumpster could not be closed. And then they got rid of those people finally.
Yeah.
Because they knew about them for months.
At least 6 months they knew that there were squatters in this apartment, and nobody would do anything for the longest time. Like, we got in contact with the landowners. I mean, we didn't call the cops, but the cops had been to our apartment complex at least a couple times.
I had to call the cops on them because one of the squatters' children, if they even were his children, screamed nonstop. It was like maybe a 12-year-old bloody murder, screaming constantly.
One of the girls broke the
lights. They like etched their names in the front door.
Yep.
Front door had no lock. Anyone could just wander into the building.
Yeah. I mean, we can't say with 100% certainty, but we did have Amazon packages get stolen off our front door. And
shit was stolen from us.
I think we can start getting into the police now, because we have a couple stories involving the police.
Yes.
I'll do mine first because yours seems a little more severe.
Yeah, we were both home for yours.
Yes, we had a knock on our door when it was detective for the state trooper was looking for some lady. Brittany.
There was no local police in Sheridan, was there? No, it was only state.
Yep.
So they did everything there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we not all the times, but I'd say 75% of the time, if an officer knocked on the door, it was a state trooper. Mm-hmm. But we had a detective looking for this Brittany girl, and so to let them know that we had been living at the apartment, I had to give them my name, my driver's license number, and they took a statement like, she does not live here. Like, it might have been a Friday night or Saturday night.
Or the weekend, yeah. We were both home.
So
the story I thought was happening.
On the other side of the driveway into the apartment complex, there was the people there had peanut butter stolen and a gun, pistol.
Well, they were broken into, and they asked if we'd seen anything, which, no.
Yeah.
There's no view unless we were like on our deck leaning, like, what are they doing?
Oh yeah, gun got stolen
and a jar of peanut butter.
And a jar of peanut butter. We can't wrap our heads around that.
A snack for his robbing. Or hers. I think it was a dude. They suspected they knew the
owners,
yeah. Knew where they kept the peanut butter and knew where they kept the gun.
Yeah. Said because nothing else got stolen, it was just the gun.
And peanut butter.
That they knew what they were going for.
It'd be hilarious if it was like a banana or something. Like, I need a snack.
Something. I need my potassium. Talk about your police experience.
Okay, so, as you know, from our mentioned earlier about the dude who lived in the apartment before us, like bolting his girlfriend in and yada yada, toenails in the drawer, gum in the closet, he was not the most sane and awesome guy.
Get out of town.
But I was glad, it's like, why weren't you home for this? But now I'm glad he wasn't home. Because I heard a knock on the door. And it was such a tiny little knock. I'll peek my head up. And all I see is actually, I turn my head, because if you were opening our door, there was the hallway to go out. And then there was another set of stairs. Mm-hmm. And around the corner was a state trooper standing there with his hand on his gun, like hiding, ready to pounce. And then turns out, like, he relaxed a little, and then there was another guy hiding with his hand on his gun as well. And he was like, "Who are you?" And so he like interrogated me, like they were looking for Ace. Yeah. Ace. And they were like, "What's your name? How long have you lived here? What's your fiance's name? How long has he lived here? Like, do you have children? What's your..."
Yeah.
Like, wanted a full-blown history. And I was nervous. One, like, is this person, like, around here right now?
Yeah, are they dangerous? Because they didn't sound like the best type of person.
But now I look back on it, I'm like, I'm glad you didn't answer the door, because you're male. And they were ready to pounce when an unknown lady answered the door.
Yeah, I imagine my ass would have got tackled to the floor.
I'm sure that's not the ethical way you
Yeah.
Unless you know that bad person's in there, I feel like you should just approach them like a normal person.
Well, hopefully you have an idea what these people look like, and you're not
Yes!
just tackling random people. Like, are you this person we're looking for? As you have your knee on their back.
And that wasn't right when we moved in, so it wasn't like he had just left. This was near the end of our 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So Ace is long gone at this point.
The only other person that lived there longer than us was a man named Doug, and
He was very nice, bit weird, started his stories in the middle.
I get a call from Junebug one
Yes,
night. I was at work, and Doug's girlfriend thought Doug might be dead in his apartment, and
She's very sweet.
yes, she wanted Junebug to go with her to check to see if Doug was dead.
And then she was like, wait a minute, I don't want you to see that, because he might have committed suicide.
Yes.
I'm like, lady!
So she calls me freaking out.
I'm like, what do I know?
Yeah. So I told him to wait until I got home, and I would go check to see if Doug was dead.
Poor Doug.
Doug ended up being fine.
He's just a terrible boyfriend, I guess. Because he didn't return her calls for weeks, and would have answered the door.
Yeah. So
They're still together.
everything ended up being fine. She ended up getting in the apartment before I got...
And she came back, she's like, he's alive, he's just sucky, and she told me the whole story. She's like, I'm gonna go beat his butt, or whatever. This is like an old couple, so it's not like she was really gonna get him, but...
Yeah. And that was one of the more, like, what the hell kind of nights. The story we wanted to end on...
Well, he did.
Going back to the squatters and this fella named Joe with the screaming 12-year-old.
12-year-olds.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah.
Who broke the lights.
There's multiple children.
Yes. So this guy, I guess I should rewind. At our apartment complex, we had a washer and dryer room with one washer, one dryer. But to get to it, you had to walk around the outside of the building and get in.
With a key.
Yes, but nobody ever really locked the door, so most of the time you could just come
They
and go.
changed the locks afterward.
Yes, because this guy got into our laundry room, somehow with power tools, tore off the tops of the washer and dryer, which were coin operated, and stole all the quarters inside. And I have a picture on my phone.
The dryer.
Yes.
The washer was gone. They're like, we can't even...
Yeah, we ended up getting new units.
It took months.
I will upload the picture of the dryer for sure, because when she called and told me this at work, I was like, you have got to be kidding me.
But that's not all. There's more. Our little storage units. Ours was at the very back on the bottom. You could know because we don't live there. And we had a lock on ours. Most people did.
Yeah, say almost everybody did.
But that didn't stop good old Joe. He took hedge trimmers or wire, and he like broke into units and like wormed his way through the top ones and stole a bunch of people's stuff.
Yeah.
We did not get stealing from, but then also because the state troopers were there a long time that night, like getting info, and then I talked to this guy who was an alcoholic who lived across the hall down. Was very, very nice when he was sober. But then he got hammered and decided to bang on the squatter's door all night. He's like, dum, 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 dum. And then he'd knock on our door like, sorry, I'm banging, and then go back to banging.
So after everything was said and done, the new maintenance man, he made the door close no matter what. If you'd open it, like
It's a swing.
yeah, it'd shut. And then the
New locks.
Yeah, the lock would automatically lock.
Shout out to me, sort of. One time when old Hag's dad knew people moved in, and they were a pain, but there was this people who wanted in. They were just like, it's like she didn't want any of these people showing up, but they did. And they'd bang on her windows, they'd bang on her slider, and then they'd bang on the door like nonstop. And because they were, I think, sober, it was loud, because I opened the door so they would know that people are here. I know, shocker, in an apartment complex.
Yeah.
And they stopped briefly and like, nice. But then they were like, doom, 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 like a minute later. So I opened the door and I screamed. I'm like, shut up!
Yeah.
That was the bravest I've been in who knows how long. They shut up after that.
Yeah.
Permanently, I think.
just people have no concept of like, hey, other people live here too, so maybe I should be
I don't
like
think
them.
anyone else in that complex did, except for Doug.
Yeah, Doug was alright. We never had any issues with Doug other than he almost died. Not almost died, but could have been dead. We don't know.
He was fine. He's just being a terrible boyfriend.
So if you guys got any other stories about living in apartments or whatnot, let us know, because it'd be nice to
Was it
know.
as great as our experience?
Yeah, it's nice to know that crazy things also happen to other people. But anyway,
That was our apartment of horrors, and we like being in the house.
yes, the house is so much better.
And cheaper, actually.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know.
So see you guys next week.
See y'all.